Hello, and welcome to Saturday. Fun fact, it's not actually Saturday. It's Sunday. We forgot to film yesterday. Though, I do remember yesterday enough to know exactly what I was going to talk about. Now, the big thing for yesterday was I really tried to test myself on the levels of comfort that I could have in terms of my recovery from surgery. For those of you who don't know, I'm really trying to return to work next week. Well, no, not next week, the week after. So the week of the 13th, I'm really trying to return to work that week. And one of the big things has been reducing my swelling, and in order to reduce my swelling so that way I can actually sit comfortably for extended periods of time and not have my pain impact that. And one of the things that I wanted to try was I wanted to try sitting in my chair again, because I don't know if we talked about it on the vlog or not, but a couple weeks ago I actually tried sitting in that chair while I was playing A Link to the Past in a Discord call with my friends, and that actually put me in a ton of pain. So much pain that it was actually difficult for me to dilate the next day while I was in physical therapy. It caused that much swelling. It's been about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks since I tried sitting in that chair again, and I actually did. And I actually tried doing it without my cushion. It went so incredibly well. I was so comfortable. I actually took a nap. I took about an hour and a half nap in that chair. So suffice to say, that chair is now more than comfortable enough for me to, hang out in. And even if I need to lay down from sitting too much, I can actually lay down in this chair and it is just as comfortable as going to my bed, which is going to help a lot when I'm trying to work on videos, which is something that I'm also trying to work more on. But we'll get into that in tomorrow's vlog. The other thing that I want to talk about for today is 3DS modding. Yeah, I'm going to talk more about that. So I talked about how a couple days ago I accidentally messed up and deleted some folders, and as a result a bunch of my apps started disappearing. I still don't know if me accidentally deleting that folder actually impacted anything, but I did learn that my apps disappearing wasn't entirely because I deleted that folder. I found out last night, well, today. Again, it's weird filming for days that don't actually, on the improper days. But basically today I found out the 3DS has a 300 icon limit. Now what does that mean? That means, unfortunately I can't show you because I'm currently downloading games, but on the 3DS home screen, the little icons that show up to show what games you have installed and your apps and all that stuff and all your little badges and all that, there is a limit on how many of those you can have on your home screen. Now, counting folders, you could have thousands of icons on your 3DS home screen. If you technically filled in every little box that you could do, if every single icon on your home screen had a folder, and each folder had everything filled in, you could have thousands. But the 3DS itself has a limit, and that limit is 300. Now, my numbers could be completely off. I didn't get complete 100% concrete numbers, but what I do know is that it does categorize it a little bit. That 300 limit is just for 3DS. There is a limit for DSi and software and all that stuff, so there are different limits. You can technically have more than 300 icons, but that 3DS limit is strictly 3DS. So me downloading all of these 3DS games, basically, after I hit that 300 limit, it was just removing stuff from previously downloaded things, which happened to be some of the games that I purchased many years ago before the eShop shut down and Nintendo cut support. So, what has been the solution? Because that now means I can't have every single 3DS game downloaded on my 3DS. I have to pick and choose. Well, as you can see, I have a queue processed. I basically went through the entire catalog of 3DS games and Virtual Console games and decided which ones I wanted to buy or which ones I wanted to have downloaded on my 3DS at all times. I decided to go for all the Fire Emblem games, all the Pokemon games, Project Cross Zone 2, and various other games that I've been wanting to play. As for the rest of the 3DS library, because again, I am very particular about archiving games, especially after the platform that I use to archive most of my games, Myriant, shut down. I've been very particular about archiving games ever since I've been seeing some of the biggest catalogs out there shutting down. I'm actually going on HShop right now and just downloading the CIAs onto my computer, onto a hard drive, and just storing them. I don't plan on distributing them. If anybody's like, hey, I'm looking for ROMs, can you give me this ROM, even though, because I've got an 8 terabyte drive just full of games, the answer is no. This is for my personal collection. This is my personal library. This is my personal archive. I don't plan on distributing this. I am doing this purely so that I have these games in case they shut down. I do the same thing for my videos. I do the same thing for my stream VODs. I do this for everything. So me downloading these 3DS games is purely just an archive. Ultimately, if I need to play these games for collection clearing, I'm going to just download them off of HShop onto my 3DS. The archived games are just purely let's say HShop goes down, even if it's temporarily, and I need those access to those games, I have them. So I actually have HShop open on my computer right now as I'm downloading games on HShop on my 3DS, and I'm just archiving them. They're just going to go on a hard drive and they're going to sit. So that was the big revelation yesterday, other than the chair. I guess the last thing I could talk about is I am working on trying to get more comfortable with this chair. I've actually learned that it's more comfortable without my donut cushion. This chair I can actually handle pretty well without the donut cushion. I also learned that the lumbar support cushion made me very uncomfortable, so I removed that. So I'm working on getting more comfortable with things. I'm working on, just really trying to adjust to normal life. That's why I've been editing vlogs. And I think I'm doing pretty good. I think if I can keep this momentum, I should have no issues returning to work next week. But that is going to be it for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and we'll see you all tomorrow.